Thank you very much for the way you've been a part of our lives over this past year as we begin our Jubilee year, 50 years in this community. I can't believe the number of people who've been a part of our lives all the way along the I-25 mile corridor. We have been so touched by your love for us, and you've stretched us into becoming the women that we are today in the world. I want you to know that you are prayed for every single day. Those who have been a part of our lives and have really called us to a greater growth, especially myself. I have to say that if it were not for the young people in my life and those that I have ministered with, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. And I really thank you for loving us and for being a part of our mission together. And I'd ask that you would continue to be a part of that with us, that you would join us in our teaching and our sharing the mission, our hospitality, and our education. We need your help, and I know that you will be a part of our future with us.
The joy that I can be here today because a very awkward, unpopular, not very smart, certainly not confident 13-year-old showed up on someone's doorstep. Not only did they take a chance, but they absolutely engaged. And they engaged in mind, body, and soul, and scores of them engaged.
If I had to put in a few words what Benet Hill has been to me and what I experienced here, hospitality would be foremost. I mean, they roll out the spiritual red carpet for you when you come here.
It is a feeling of returning home to a safe place where I know I'll be appreciated and loved and always, always welcomed.
Most people want to be treated, with respect. Most people want to be treated with love. Most people want to be invited. And that's what I found here. The fact that I was invited to have a relationship with God and to have a relationship with other people who are in relation with God.
It's a retreat. Seems like it's a retreat. A very necessary entity in this fast-moving society.
We're so future-oriented in our thinking that we overlook the fact that many have served us and have not been properly thanked for that. That's part of what I see when I come here, but what I see also is a vibrant liturgical community.
To develop a Benedictine type of spirituality, you have to be able to be open, be very open to learning about God. But it's not particularly by preaching, it's by the way you live, by the way you treat others, and I see that in them.
I really believe I found intimacy here with the sisters, with ritual, with liturgy, with the passages of life. To me, in the midst of their spirituality, they're very human. And our humanity is just as accepted as our spirituality.
The community offered over the years a center for a spiritual, personal renewal and healing.
I remember Sister Mary Susan, who would take kids from Benet Hill when it was a school and come down to Antonito and sing with our kids. And then we would go up and take some of our students up to Benet Hill so that they could meet some of those students there. And it was just really amazing because all of us would go. It was the very first time, really, I ever heard about Jesus, and she painted him to be the most awesome. I still see that entity that way.
We grew to learn and respect, or love and respect education, because the way it was given to us.
But they've always, kind of focused on on not only developing you as a young woman, but a young woman of character.
When I look at the future here, I see some very creative things with media. And I believe a place like this can really contribute far beyond its own borders to the spiritual formation of people.
We have the central computer here. We have a special software that's a free download to the students. It's given them the opportunity to speak to people in Kenya or whatever and become alive. And their world becomes joyful and filled full of love.
Every one of these women took the vow, and it meant something very personal to her. And they have that in common, but together they create a force that is really tremendous for the community. I mean, look at this place. This is a sanctuary.
At one point, our Rabbi Ehrlich, had invited the Muslim community out, and so we were sitting around a table with the three great faiths of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, sitting around together in great fellowship and learning from each other and trying to understand each other and gaining much from that togetherness.
Stability is a huge part of their vow, and that's what they're teaching me also, to just stay with each other, whether it's hard, beautiful, fun.
I have 4 children, and they're all involved in one or another fast-moving profession. And I see that they never get a chance to sit back and assimilate and just retreat. Right before school started, we went on retreat for a couple of days. Right before we had big exams, the final exams, we went on retreat. So we had a chance to just get inside of ourselves, convince ourselves we were going to do well and not get all nervous. And I don't see that happening for anyone anymore. And I think that these places are very, very necessary.
We're on a spiritual journey together, and we share it, and we know what we're talking about when we talk about the interior life.
I mean, we certainly as humans we're influenced by our experiences, but some of those influences are much more powerful and much more desirable than other influences.
When you are here, you know that it is an environment of safety and security, and frankly, one of joy.
But that didn't become known, that presence of their reverence of all things, I don't think necessarily through schooling or lecturing, but watching how they led, how they cared with their heart. Not for one segment here or one segment there, but for all.
The Benedictine sisters were my compass through my life. And I'm hoping that the compassion and the loving attitude and the caring attitude that they gifted to me, I can pass on to my children and my grandchildren and all of those people that I interact with on a daily basis.
It's just a beautiful place. It's a warm and inviting place, and you can feel the presence of God here.
Come create a Benedictine future with us.